Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees is apologizing today after he made some insensitive comments about NFL players who kneel during the national anthem. So he made these statements during an interview with Yahoo Finance, which is, pretty interesting subject to discuss for Yahoo Finance, but nonetheless, it happened. And so when asked for his opinion about players kneeling to protest police brutality, once the NFL season begins this fall, Brees said he would, quote, never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag. And then he continued to say, and is everything right with our country right now? No, it's not. We still have a long way to go. But I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. We can all do better and that we are all part of the solution. Now, he received quite a bit of backlash, including from other professional athletes, including LeBron James and Brees' own teammate, Michael Thomas. So later in an Instagram post, he said the following. He apologized. I would like to apologize to my friends, teammates, the city of New Orleans, the Black community, NFL community, and anyone I hurt with my comments yesterday. In speaking with some of you, it breaks my heart to know the pain I caused. He also admits that he completely missed the mark and that his statement was insensitive. And then he also emphasized that he has, quote, always been an ally, never an enemy to the Black community. But it's hilarious because once he apologized, then there was backlash from right wingers, including Deanna Lorraine, who's a former GOP challenger to Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. She argues that you should never bend to the mob.
Yeah. All right. And there was a lot of that. Tons of people, right-wing Twitter people saying, oh, my God, how could you, Drew? You're being wonderfully hateful. Now you're turning around and saying that you like your teammates. Don't do that. And Malcolm Jenkins had a very powerful video about this, who's also a teammate. We're going to ask you a question about this in a second, and I'm very curious what you guys think. But here's my take. First of all, I love Drew Brees as a football player, and so it's painful for me to see this stuff. It reminds me of when we first found out about Bill Cosby, and I was like, no! And so, look, what Drew Brees did is not the same as what Bill Cosby did. I want to be clear about that. And at first I thought that he might have just really not gotten it, and that he didn't intend harm from it, but didn't understand that, hey, this isn't about the military, this isn't about the flag, this is about police and police brutality. And if you don't think this is the right way to do a protest, is there any form of protest that you would agree to? So I disagreed with him completely, but thought maybe he's coming at it from a decent place. But then JR in our production meeting made such a great point that immediately changed my mind. He said, look, he's been in the locker room with those guys for decades now. Did he never ask Malcolm Jenkins or Michael Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders or anyone to, hey, why are folks taking a knee? Why are they upset? Did they have a single conversation about any of this? Then I saw a picture of him and Donald Trump all smiles in watching a game together. It's amazing to me that you have Black teammates for literally decades, and you call them brothers, and you guys, in your own way, go to battle together. And I can't imagine that you dislike them. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But then you go home and like Tom Brady, put on a Trump hat. And it never occurred to you that it was you never read it anywhere. You never asked anyone. You didn't, that it was about police brutality and not disrespecting the military. And it never occurred to you that police brutality against African Americans was so overwhelming. Every one of them says it. Millions upon millions of African Americans say it, including your brothers who are on the team with you all this time. And it never occurred to you that they might be right, that maybe they're not lying. Maybe this is actually a very benign form of protest and that you should find out more about it. Wow, it's stunning, man. So we got a poll for you guys.
Yeah, so this poll can be found at tyt.com/polls/Brees. We'll also have a link in the description box below. And the poll asks, is Drew Brees intentionally racist, unintentionally racist, negligently racist, or not racist at all? Again, go to tyt.com/polls/Brees.
Yeah, you know, I'm wavering now. I love the phrasing of that poll because I did it, but right. Yesterday I was sure he was unintentionally racist. I wasn't sure. I thought he was unintentionally racist. Now I'm leaning towards negligently racist, but that's at a minimum, right? But I'm curious what you guys think. That's why we do the polls. But yeah, I just look. I can't stop being stunned by at a bare minimum the deep ignorance of it. And Malcolm Jenkins, his teammate, talked about how, look, my grandparents fought in World War II too, and except when they came back, they weren't honored; they were spit upon.
Right.
And it reminds me of one of the things that flipped me when back. You know, a lot of folks know this. I used to be a Republican when I was younger, and I went and saw a Jesse Jackson speech that got me thinking. And he said that his dad had gone to fight in World War II and that they had captured a bunch of Nazi soldiers. And his dad had to sit behind the Nazi soldiers in the train because they were black and the Nazis were white.
Wow. Yeah.
And so if you never looked into that and you never went to hear a speech from someone you didn't necessarily agree with, and you never bothered to ask a single teammate for decade after decade, it's definitely damning and super.
Yeah. I think that there's just this like misconception about what racism is. Like, I think a lot of people who aren't black think that racism has to be like outwardly malicious. But just like the lack of curiosity to understand what your own teammates are going through, right? Just like the complete apathy and unwillingness to learn from the very people that you're supposed to be like on a team with, working together with, I think is, you know, it's not only, you know, an example of, I guess, if it falls into this category, like negligent racism, it's privilege, because the issues that impact your teammates don't impact you. So subconsciously, I just think that he doesn't think he needs to know about these things or like investigate them a little more before forming an opinion, you know?
Yeah, Anna, that's a great point. And that's why I phrase it as negligently racist, because I mean, I think at a bare minimum, it's that, because how do you not care enough about your teammates to ask that question? That's amazing to me that you just don't care. You don't care what they're going through at all. You think, no, I'd rather just protect life as I know it and live in my bubble. And I don't really give a damn about you guys. You seem all concerned about this, but I didn't even bother asking, let alone caring. It's so now, by the way, let's just be clear. He might or might not mean that statement that he put out today, but that was definitely written by his PR agent. No question about it. Okay. I know how that stuff works. PR and lawyers and his agent, they all got in the room together. They wrote that statement, and then Drew's was like, either maybe he totally meant it. He's like, thank you for writing it for me. That is what I think. Or he might have thought, what am I going to do? I guess I got to save my career. That's really hard to know.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.